All right, so Glenn and Todd are back, and part of what I wanted to do was first, we got this machine set up, then secondly, they kind of gave me a quick tutorial and then left me on my own. It took 6.5 hours for me to do a set of Tesla wheels, mounting, and I picked a pretty difficult set of wheels to do, in fairness to me.
Yeah.
They had like those foam inside the tires, and everything about it was difficult. I got them done. The car drives beautifully. But a lot of the things, like I didn't know about massaging beads, and I've seen the tire guys do it, but I didn't know much about it. So what we're going to do here today, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to do some really expensive wheels, and I'm going to have Todd's going to show us how to do it. And then he's going to talk about, because they watch the videos, they're going to talk about some of the things I did wrong and some of the things that maybe I did a couple things right. The tires are on there, they haven't fallen off the car yet. And then we're going to do a set of Tesla wheels, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm going to then follow him, and he's going to critique me and fix me, and then hopefully I'll be somewhat proficient to do the next wheels on my own. So we have a set of TE37, I think these are TE37 RTs. These are for the Raptor. They're a 18 by 8 plus 1 offset, so they'll be pretty flush with the fender. And I have a TPMS sensor for them. What do I do with it? Oh, I put it right here. So we have a TPMS, and I'll let you do your thing.
Right. So we'll get these up. So we get bare wheel.
So one of the reasons why most of us, why I'm even interested in this is because it's hard to find a really a shop that has these machines, and then secondly has proficient guys doing it.
Right.
And so one of the things I'm hoping to answer for myself is, can I become proficient not doing this all day, every day? Is this something that I can accomplish? And Glenn's been confident that I can make that happen. And so when I buy a set of wheels, I want to be able to do these. I'll take 5 hours to do it if I have to take my time. There's no time crunch. And so that's the main reason why I'm excited to kind of learn how to do these things. Todd, after watching the video, he's not so sure about me being able to do this, but we're gonna convince him. I'm a good learner.
There you go.
So this is a pressure.
For pulling it.
What do we need? What kind of tool are we looking for?
It screws onto the threads here, and you can use it to pull it through the tire, so it pops in easy. That's the only pain about the part. I don't know if I can get it to force. Oh, it's on that side. I forgot about that.
Okay, cool. So we do have that.
I know we ship one with it.
Yeah, I forgot it was a flip over deal.
This is good. I would have never known I needed to do that.
Actually, what I'm going to do is clamp it down first so we don't have any problems pulling it. What I did was, while we were getting ready, I went ahead and set this up for the flange plate. That way it's nice and protecting the wheel. I'm not putting the cone and hurting anything inside the wheel.
Got it, okay.
So I set it up for 6 lug. It's going to go nice and gentle with it. All right.
Ah, I love that. I didn't even know that's what that, I knew it was for, but.
Oh yeah, the cone's got to come off. Look at that there. Set that down.
Sweet.
Okay.
That's way cool.
Now we're going to go to our clamp. Go ahead and. Okay. So we went ahead and told it it's all the way up, went ahead and clamped it down.
Got it.
Now we're stable, we can pull this through a whole lot easier.
Okay.
I put a little bit of lube on this valve stem there so it helps it slide in a little easier. These are set up to where you can pull them straight out. You can use this. I hate doing it on nice wheels, but it does pull it in a little easier. Come on. There it goes. It is plastic, so it does protect it pretty well.
Yeah, I don't like that. I want a better tool for that.
So what we're going to do is we got to set it up to where we almost have to act like we're putting a tire or taking a tire off anyway, because we got to tell the machine where the valve stem's at, where the edge of the rim is at.
Okay.
So we're going to do just like we're mounting one. Get our rollers up out of the way.
Yeah, I think for me, more often than not, I'm doing this, or I'm buying new wheels. A lot of times my tires never even make it through a cycle.
Right.
I get a new set of wheels, new set of tires, I sell off the old stuff.
So what we're going to do, I'm still going to line this up where I need it. Okay.
Now, how perfect does that need to be?
Within this range here. The biggest thing is when it comes over here to hook it to get the valve stem.
Yeah.
Or to hook the tire, we're not hitting the valve stem.
So is that what happened? Did I put it too close? Is why this?
I think what you did in one of the first videos was you had this a little bit too low. And what happened was when you went to do the lower roller come up, it would catch the rim just a little bit. If you set this a little bit too low, that lower, when it comes up to push the tire off, it'll catch right there. On nice wheels like this, I always air a little bit high. That way that lower roller does scoop over top.
Now I've seen some videos and watching all these videos that some places will tape this. Is that necessary? Should we
I've
do
seen a lot
that?
of people do that. Yeah, it's not a bad protection thing, especially with a brand new wheel. It's really nice.
Let me get some tape.
Some masking tape.
Let me get some tape. Yeah, this is right up my alley. See, taking these steps, like if you're a big high performance shop, or I guess not high performance shop, but a high production shop.
They're not going to do it.
Yeah, you don't have time for this.
Which is why this answers, you know, the question or the statement that you made in the beginning about why you want to be able to do this.
Yeah.
It's not your average shop just not going to have the tools or the time to sit there and do something like this.
Yeah.
And the machine does a really, really, really good job of protecting it.
Yeah.
But why not go that extra?
Yeah.
And part of my issue is that I'm learning how to do it too, you know. So any step I can take as a precaution is good.
Okay. So what we've done now, we protected the wheel. Obviously, we got our valve stem in the location we want it. We're gonna use our upper roller now.
See, I was sitting here for like trying to get this valve stem like perfect. I'm like holding the pedal. I don't need to do that. Okay.
So something about like that's about the way I like to put it. So if you feel it a little higher right there,
Okay.
you put your finger across it like a little bit of a lip. Okay,
Got it.
not much, just a little. That just kind of, when you're taking a tire off, it helps you out a little bit.
Okay.
So at this point, we're going to set the location on the machine. It's even asking you on the screen, what do you want to do?
Okay.
It's got a little light up green thing giving you a hint, hey, this is our next step.
Yep.
90% of the time, you don't have to touch the screen when you're doing a set of tires. When you're
Okay.
doing what we're going to do today, we're going to have to use the screen quite a bit. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set the location. Now it's asking me what I want to do. Well, we don't want to demount, so
Yep.
we want to mount both beads.
Okay.
So we skip ahead to that. So now we're at the mount stage. What it's going to tell you to do is go ahead and angle the tire over and get ready for it. So what we're going to do is get our tire up here, get it lubricated,
Yep.
and get ready.
Now help me with everybody's yelling about the dots. Michelin's don't have dots.
Right. Some tires do, some tires don't.
So what are the dots? How do I know what the dots are?
This
This
has
one
got a
has
dot
red
here.
and yellow.
Yeah. I would have to read up on Falcons. I'm not real familiar with them, but usually the dot indicates one of the places they suggest to put the valve stem
Okay.
for the best balance. So how it is on a Falcon, I don't know.
And that's the information we get from the tire manufacturers. It's
Yeah.
very vague.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
You want the sticker going?
That one's like molded in there. I
Okay.
can't get it off. I tried.
Which way do you want it on?
Is there an outside and inside on these?
I believe so on these. You just generally put them all the same way. So our DOT is there. A lot of times I'll put DOT on the inside.
Yeah, that looks like the inside to me.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of my way though.
So now you saw what I was doing. I was lubricating because I was having a hard time doing what's it called, the force matching. So I was having a hard time rotating the wheel inside, and so I lubricated the crap out of the inside of the wheel.
Yeah,
Is that
sometimes you can overdo it and it makes it really tough to go on. When you get a whole lot of lube in there, sometimes it doesn't get enough bite to grab a hold of the rim to go on properly. So there is that kind of...
So in the beginning I had too little, and then in the end I probably had too much.
Right.
So there's a happy medium there, and that's where experience I think comes in on these things, is just trial and error.
Yeah, and every tire is going to be a little bit different. So
Yeah.
the tire's going to kind of dictate what you got to do. You just kind of go through it.
For your normal mounting, what Todd's done here, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Got
The reason that you would lube like the approaches and stuff is on one where it's tough for it to inflate.
Okay.
That's
I
why
gotcha.
we
Okay.
do that, because as far as when you're trying to do the matching, you're trying to turn it in here.
I've also seen run flats that hang up on this and don't want to slide down, so it makes it almost impossible to get your top beat on.
So what is your initial? So what are you assessing right here? Are you assessing like, is this rough? So I should probably lubricate.
Well, this tire
or-
is not going to be a big deal. If it was
this one's
a run flat or one of those, I might be kind of light.
So you know this is a pretty
pretty
theoretically
standard.
pretty pedestrian setup here.
Right. It's
Even though
generally-
these wheels have a kind of a rough finish, that's not
Shouldn't
necessarily
matter a whole lot.
Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
So
Come on, why are you lifting?
I know I should.
78 pounds.
Remember we had a wheel lift on this.
I know. So we're going to position it where we want it.
Okay.
It's asking what you want. If you want to continue, yes, we want to continue. So it's going to It's going to tell me, are you going to angle it over? Yes, I've already done it.
So you're just leaving enough room so
Yep. So now it's telling me it positioned itself for the valve stem.
that's normal. It's set itself
It
up.
had to set itself up.
Okay. Holding the pedal down. See, that's where I was pushing over here.
Yeah.
All right.
You just got to kind of walk it around that way where you're going to go. Now you're beeping at me. It's saying, hey, let's do something different. So,
so now it's
going to pedal. It's asking for the pushers. On this tire is not necessarily needed, but.
So this is what freaked me out. These darn pushers. It happens so fast.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm like, stop.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're out of the way. So.
But I mean, I didn't want to get out of the way. I was afraid I was going to do something bad.
Yeah. So we went ahead and angled our pusher, or brought our pushers around.
Okay.
We're going to continue.
Dang, that's so awesome.
And one of the things that you were doing last time is you were manually controlling that roller and pushing down with that roller.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that.
Right.
I mean, there are going to be times when you need to do it, but on the tire and wheel the combination you were doing,
Yeah.
you didn't need to do that. You were actually making it tougher to mount that tire by doing that.
Got it. So now we're ready to
Inflate it.
So one of the things I was noticing, which you'd mentioned to me when we were talking on the phone, is the Teslas need 40 psi, and so this maxed at 39. Is there some override or something for that?
Yes. You just keep pushing the button once it gets past.
It gets to 40, and that's where it stops.
I think it was 42.
Yeah.
See the pressure override?
Yep.
But it won't. You have to get to that point. So.
Got it. Okay.
Let's see if it'll inflate without any troubles.
This is the part where I always back up. I always get nervous. It's gonna explode in my face.
Oh, you don't have the air on it.
Oh shoot! Yeah. I gotta get you. We gotta slum it here a little bit because I gotta switch from one machine to the other.
And then do it.
What are you doing now?
We're going to go ahead and pinch the tire and try to line that dot up while we're sitting here.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
That way at least you're close to one of those dots.
Gotcha.
So you have to deal with Falcon to see which one's the best one. Go ahead and get this out of the way. One trick you can also do is pull the valve stem core out. It gets a better airflow.
Oh, okay.
When you can hear it going like and doing that's because it's got the back pressure from that valve stem, so you hate for it to stop. You don't want it to slow down at all. We want that constant burst of air going through it.
You can see where this kind of has. The tire's so heavy.
Here's the difference. That's how that blast is coming through.
There it goes.
You should get your face away from there.
Yeah.
Or you should be wearing safety glasses. For this part here.
What I normally do is come over here, like wait for the pop.
Reasons why we have the remote start and everything is we don't want you standing in front of this thing.
Yeah. I'm with you. It scares the crap out of me. There it goes. Come on.
It's two.
By the way, if you're inflating it and you hear a third pop,
That's bad.
You didn't have enough lube on.
Just gonna set them at 35 for now.
Yeah, I think the Raptors call for 40.
Okay.
Or show them how to override it anyway. Like let's let it get to 40 and then you'll have to hold it. Yeah,
I'm so in love with this thing.
With a flange plate.
Yeah, gosh. It's expensive, but man, I think it's worth every penny.
I mean, for today's tire and wheel rim combinations, because we're going past 40.
You gotta keep your finger on it so that it can do this. Okay, got it.
And every time it backs down, you can see. Where
So it's only gonna go to 40. It can't go to 42.
Well, you can play it at 42, but you You have to manually do it. You have
Oh, he's watching the needle there. Got it. Okay. Yeah, 40 is what we're going to. Now, the other thing I noticed is that, and we can check it, is there a calibration on this thing? Because I was setting it to 42, and then it only inflated 35, so it was like 7 pounds off.
Huh. Let's check
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, so I think we'll balance these for, I think it's 40 on the Raptor.
You want them at 40?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're going to check it on this machine. So this is where the lift helps a lot. Now this thing weighs 100 and something pounds.
Well, and instead of lifting the tire up there,
I could have leaned it over.
could
Yeah.
have leaned it over and leaned the tire up against the rim.
Yeah.
And then let it lift it up.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Let me switch your air over here.
All right, stop it. It's not right. Just take it off. We'll just calibrate it real quick.
Okay, so my plate has markings for 6 lug.
Yep, and it's got quick release pins here. Just pulling them out. We'll find our six lug spot.
Okay.
Of course, we're only going to use 3 because we are going 6 lugs. So. There's
See,
one.
these are things that I'd be having to watch videos and trying to figure out how to, you know.
And 1 is not, you don't move that one, it's a solid one.
Got it.
Go back into 6 lug. It's got a marking for the other 6. So that's all of them.
Gotcha, okay.
We got our flange plate, same thing. It's gonna have 3 lugs in it, just like we had on the other side. We're also gonna get our cone.
So now we need to figure out which cone fits, right?
It's gonna be too big.
Hold on. Now this is where this pneumatic lift comes in real handy.
Yeah, especially these big tires. Okay.
My pneumatic. I got air. I got air. That will be why. Always the simplest thing, Glenn. That's how real men always think of the simplest things. Step 1, is it on?
And now you know, 75 PSI, not enough to lift that tire.
Now I'm gonna be so mad when this thing balances up first try. I'm back and forth 57 times.
Well, part of what you did the other day, you did not need to go back and forth like you did.
Yeah.
You know,
If you only got a prediction of a few pounds difference, it's really not worth it to do
Yeah.
all the work. You're not going to notice a difference in that. If you're talking about changing
So if it's
15 or 20
predicting,
pounds,
if it's at 22 and it's predicting that it'll go to 8, it's worth the work.
right.
Like if this asks for us to do it, we're gonna get those 2 chalk mark the tire. We're gonna bring it over. We're gonna line it up. But before you leave there, you're gonna tell the tire changer to do the bead massage.
Got it.
That way, when you put it back over here, you're going to have the best fit.
By the way, we did 100 and the Tesla rock solid, even though it said it wasn't
Yeah.
good. And I had the 2 that didn't get road force approved are in the front, and it still was darn
Well,
good.
they weren't really that much out. It
Yeah.
depends on how much a vehicle weighs, and Teslas aren't super light vehicles.
Yeah.
You've got all those, all the batteries in there.
Should be good.
Yeah, it'll lift it outside. It's got 130 PSI in there.
There we go. Jeez, it's a big old. I guess you got room. We got room for 40s on this machine. I love this. I love the fact that these things aren't touching anything. Nice and tight. I was doing that. I was putting it on real tight.
Yep. Especially on these big tires. They got a lot going on.
Now, what about the centering check thing? Do I need to do that every time?
Don't necessarily have to. It's usually if you notice you think you have a problem, like something's not lining up right, or you feel like it's wobbling on the rim, something like that. That's something when you're kind of feeling like your setup's questionable.
Okay.
The flange plate and the cones, you're generally going to be dead on every time. You're rarely going to have a problem with that.
Okay.
Okay. So it's kind of a judgment call. You got 26 pounds, right on the edge of what an LT tire calls for.
Okay.
It's thinking we can maybe get down to 16 pounds. We're only gonna move it that far. So it's one of those.
So if it's your tires,
If you're really wanting to make sure you get close you can, I'd try it maybe once, but I don't know if I'd try it. You know, if it got anywhere close to it and dropped a little bit.
and so on this, so now what do I do here? So this is what I didn't know what to do. So do I, because my thing, the screen popped up there on the side.
Right.
So what do I do?
So we're gonna go into road force. And we're gonna do the force match. Sorry, brain locked up.
Okay, so yeah, I got to this screen.
Okay.
Okay, so then let's
It's
just
actually-
do it because I.
It's actually showing us we're going to turn at about 180. I was looking at the wrong part of the screen, but about 180 is what we're going to turn. You want to use your thin masking tape on this so we're not using mercury?
Yeah. That's what I was doing before. Got that.
So,
Let's just do one since
Yeah.
you guys are
well,
here.
it's asking for 180, so that's quite a bit.
Okay.
If it was only asking for eighth of a turn, I'd be like, eh.
But the fact that you're already at what we know to be an acceptable amount of road force for an SUV, you know,
Yeah. It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
If I put that 2.25 ounces on, I'd probably be good to go.
yeah, but it's your machine for doing your cars. If I'm going to do it,
Just keep. You might chase it a little more than you normally would if you were in a shop.
Okay. So we got our stuff marked. We'll go ahead and get her up here. Easy. Stop. Thank you. I forgot to back out of it.
Take those.
and head back over to the tire chain. And the first step he's going to show you is something that I didn't see you doing, and that is relubing the beads of the tires.
Okay. Remember right here. Get it back on our pin, right?
Yep. And a little bit. Yep.
Okay.
Get that back on. Get our flange plate back in place.
I love that so much. I cannot explain. Oh, I gotta switch your air again. Do we need air?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or for inflating it, yeah.
Got these $70,000 machines and I don't have an airline. We're running dedicated lines down and all that stuff. So now this is the part I was also confused on. Do we have to reset our,
Not because we got the same wheel.
okay.
So technically I set it for this one. If all four are the same offset and everything, I can just leave it. I don't have to reset that. But notice what it says is, it's asking if I want to set the same location.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice what I did, I rotated the valve stem back over to here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I can set it the same location. It's going to remember where the rim's at. It just wants to make sure I brought the valve stem back over here.
Got it.
So at this point, I'm saying yes. Now, if I didn't rotate it all, it would have gave me a warning saying, hey, I didn't see any rotation. Are you sure the valve stem's where we want it?
Okay.
And
So you put the valve stem here,
Put the valve stem
then
back
we
here.
green light it.
Right.
Got it.
It's going to be the same as the last wheel. The good
Got
part is we've already set everything, so when we go to break the beads and stuff on this thing, we're just going to run this through far enough until it breaks the bead, then we're going to stop the process and move our tire where we want it, and then air it back up again.
So now procedurally, are we going to do a bead massage first and then a force match?
No, force match first.
Okay.
You're gonna match these two up first. Then we're gonna, as it loosens it, Todd's gonna grab the brush there and he's gonna lube that top bead and that bottom bead. And then once both of them are done, before it starts to remove it, he'll get the moving arm more towards the outside here and let it pinch down and just lift up on the rotation pedal there and line the two marks up.
Are you using the match mount auto feature? Are we going to use that, or are you doing it manually?
I've always done it manually, so it just seems like it's
It's easier. It's just easier to do that. And
Clamp bottom, top, and bottom.
yep.
I got in one point where I clamped it too hard and I thought I broke the tire.
No, we'll show you that right now. So it's done.
yeah, a lot of air in the tires.
So I guess these big tires add a little bit of time in your inflating, deflating.
Right.
These little baby tires that happen instantly.
Yeah.
Well, now that we know that we were running on 70 psi, then we'll inflate it a little bit faster when we inflate it this time. So.
As long as this thing is set, this and this can't hit the wheel.
They're set by this. Once you set this diameter, everything else.
Same thing with the bottom.
Right.
So I think it was a combination of me having this set in the wrong spot, me pushing in the wrong spot, that caused this. What happened is this, I think the bottom one came, it was the bottom, you're right.
So that roller came up.
The bottom roller came up and just clipped right off the top.
Clips right here, yeah.
Yeah. So when it popped off, it hit the top and just kind of tipped that.
Instead of coming up and
Oh,
clearing.
yeah. So it wasn't this arm that hit it, it was the bottom one. Ah, yeah. I'm not going to do that again. Oh, that's why you did it on those wheels. You don't give a crap about those wheels. I wanted to mess it up. Now I'm taking this all in. Because otherwise, when you're doing it the first time, you're like, yeah, I'm going to let you do the whole thing. And then you at some point you have to take the leap.
Yeah.
And so you suggested I go to the junkyard, and I went to the junkyard on the Tesla.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so it's going to break the beads, but you're going to add a little lube.
That way it slides good.
And by the way, during this process right now, where it's reaching down and touching the tire, you want to be nowhere around it. Not that you're going to get hurt. It's getting information, so you don't want to be
Hands in there.
rollers, because that will change also. Where that bottom roller comes up. And as soon as that tool head gets ready to start moving again, Todd's going to take his foot off the go pedal and stop that process. What you can do now is just hit the rotation pedal.
Okay.
If you need to lube it more, you can just let the roller rotate.
That was the other part. I had to go back and start the whole thing over again because I let it go too far.
No, and see what he's doing. He's just getting the lube down in that bead area and on the approach area. You don't really want to get the whole bead seat lube too much.
I love it. So we took it off the go because I'm like, I don't have enough time. It's like I gotta stop the process, but rotating doesn't.
On a tire like this, you can probably just loosen it up and turn it by hand, but that's still, you're not going to get away with that on everything. So
Yeah. Okay.
So that's it there. We're going to pull our core back out. Oh, it's already out. So.
yeah.
Inflate it.
run away. Little baby. Oh yeah, the bead's heating a lot easier now when you got enough air.
One down, one to go.
This is so cool. I'm excited if you're, when you get your Bronco mic, you can come in and mess up your wheels. I take hundos. I'll get a little cash register out here. Auto draft. Because you're going to need me to do it, because I'm going to be the only one here who knows how to do this crap. Yeah, I did listen to you about, you let the tire, when you're dismounting, you let the tire go. Well, the Tesla's a little too big and it shot off into my wall. I was like, dang it. It just shot past the top of that thing.
There's your rub mark there?
It's behind here on the, you see it on the wall. See it right there. I'm like, dang it.
Be a good spot, maybe put some of this flooring on the wall.
Yeah.
Or
So
something
I was
to protect
thinking,
it.
do some sort of tile or something.
What's that? Oh, bead massage.
So now a bead massage is done with it on, done, inflated.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, all right. Well, learn something new here as well. Can you explain to me what a bead massage does?
Basically just kind of flexes the tire a little bit with air pressure in it. On tires like those, it'd be more important than a tire like this, just to make sure they seat properly.
Sometimes when you'll do it, you'll actually hear.
Yeah. Okay, and that was it. On clamper.
So in the menu of this thing, it has something called a 180 match. Mm-hmm. What's that all about? That's just like flip it 180 and just see what happens kind of thing?
Yep. That's if you don't have a machine like this, that will tell you exactly where it needs to go.
So this has a 180 in it just because all the
because
hunters
that's
have
the
it?
perfect spot for it, yes.
Got it. Now I'm excited to figure out, it'll show me like where the weights go. That's the part that was blowing my mind. I'm like, is it telling me to put on the inside, the outside, the middle? And then I had it, we're going to talk about, I had it on hide behind the spoke. Then it was having me split the weights up and all kinds of weird crap. What I found I was doing, I was fighting the machine. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, what do I start pushing buttons instead of just dropping the hood. I think that's what's cool about it. You just drop the hood and it does what it's supposed to do. That's the part that just wasn't
You
registering.
have a tire changer that is going to tell you what to do, and you have a balancer that's going to tell you what to do.
But I don't like to listen, so that was my problem. I don't like to be told what to do.
Appreciate your honesty.
That's why I got my own business.
That's why it took 6 hours.
Don't tell me what to do, Bryce.
I'll do right now. 6 hour tire test grabs.
I could have driven to Atlanta, had my tires mounted in balance and back, just had no time left over.
Got lunch.
All right, well, we've reduced the amount of weight it needs.
Got done 19, so well, we're predicting 16, I believe. So it's within 3 pounds. It's pretty good.
And then you could just sit there. You could sit there chasing it all day, and you're gonna not do any better.
When you were doing it the other day, you would have them far apart, and then it got like.
And then I was having me move it like 3 inches.
You were moving it inches, and yeah.
Yeah. When you're only gonna move it a little bit, it's not worth it. It's not gonna do anything.
And then I'd come back, and then it was worse than when I started.
Right.
And it would tell me to move it 3 inches back where it was before.
And that's because you didn't have enough lube in there. I mean, you do the, even though we just did it, that lube gets rubbed away when it's when the bead seats itself. So.
Okay, so the road force part, we can add our weights now.
Right.
So now tell me about the weight. So I got this inside, I got the outside, I got the. So we don't have clip weights.
The machine is generally going to read itself and look at the wheel and know what the wheel was asking for.
Right.
But in your case, you're doing all stick-on weights.
Yeah,
so
I don't
in this
do any
case,
clip
you
weights, right.
overrule what it's telling you.
Okay.
And go ahead and go to your sticky weights. And what it's done is lined up our first weight. Let's line up our first weight on the inside next to that spoke, all the way in there. If you can see where it's at. Now, if you want to look at the other one, you push it to servo, and that's your outside weight.
Okay.
Okay, now you can also click on these. You used to be able to click on them. There it is. It hit just right. It's showing you what it's expecting. It's expecting to see that many half-ounce weights.
Yikes.
Or that many half-ounce weights with a quarter-ounce weight.
Okay, so I might as well do these half-ouncers, right?
Mm-hmm. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half-ounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's asking for a quarter to go with it. Now I'm going just a little bit off to one side, so I got room for my other weight on the end of it.
Okay.
So it's in dead center, that one. Okay.
Servo it, and I do another set.
I can't get the spot just right. There it goes. So it's asking for that many quarter-ounce weights. So
Or when we do
or you can click over to that.
Yeah.
You're going to do 4 half-ounce now. The biggest thing for getting the balance correct is getting the plane separation far enough apart. So it's, some of these wheels that are got real big offsets, it's going to be hard to get them to be happy with it because they won't get far enough apart.
Okay.
Okay. And that's just going to vary depending on the wheel. Come on.
Yeah, I was just overcomplicating it so much. I just follow the darn machine.
Once again, I'm going to put it a little bit off to one side so I got room for my quarter-ounce weight. And with sticky weights, it's obviously, sometimes they're a little tricky to get them just perfect, so you're just trying to get all the imbalance you can out of it.
That's why I'm excited for the 3M system I'm going to transition to. You just cut it and it'll be exact.
Right. So we're good to go.
All right, so now I'm going to try to do the same thing.
Okay.
I'm going to do it in, what's my time? How much time do I have? 11 minutes?
You should be able to get it on there in 2 minutes. The tire mounted in 2 minutes.
Okay, here we go. Let's go, Bryce. Keep your mouth shut.
I want to grab the rim first.
Wheel first. I'm already making mistakes. I don't want these stickers messing up my balance.
Rounds right there.
All right, let me get the wheel.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. What's going on here?
I gotta get the pin inside right
Oh,
there.
yeah, why is it? There we go.
It's got spring loading, and sometimes you gotta kind of wiggle it over there. There it goes.
Okay.
Now we're going to stand back.
Yeah,
Let
just,
you do it.
where's my tape?
Right there.
I want to tape it. I don't care what you say, Glenn.
It's cutting into your time, Matt.
I can get fast at this. Watch this.
Yep.
Oh, shoot. I like this. Now I'm going to put the TPMS sensor in, the valve stem TPMS sensor.
I'd clamp it first, that way you're not wobbling around.
Got it. So we're going to put this in, which we already have set up. Where do you want me, Bryce? On this side?
Remember, those are on a swivel kind of adjustment. You just push in and out.
So I don't want to have it next to any of the lugs. So I'm going to go every other lug.
Yep.
Take my thing. Wheel's not.
There you go.
I'm gonna clamp it. So I don't even, the machine already went back to the beginning, right? So I clamp it.
Yep.
Good. Now I'm gonna get my, what did I do with them?
Up there.
Up here. I'm gonna add a little bit of lube to this. See, I was paying attention. Take this off. Did you core it here or after we put it on?
I did it afterwards, but you can do it whenever.
I like the fact that I've got this tape now, so I can. So I might as well make things easy on myself. Stand in one spot, right?
Yep. Flip that over. Here you go, 'cause you want that tucked against the wheel.
Got it. So I could try pulling it, or we already saw what works best, which is 2.
Not quite all the way in yet.
There we go. Okay. Now, procedurally, do you take the core out now, or do you just wait?
Either, it's up to you. It's personal preference.
Put the tire, lube the tire. I feel like I'm under the gun. I'm nervous on camera, Bryce. I don't know if I can do this. So we decided this was the inside. So we put the dots on the outside. I do love this lube. This lube, by the way, it's so easy. It like washes off the pressure washer. All the other stuff takes that I've had on that other places use. It's terrible. It takes hours to get off. Now I could do it procedurally. I don't want to hurt my back, so I could do one of these deals. Yeah. Well, come all the way down. Don't you worry about it, Bryce. So now these.
Push your mount head up out of the way. Remember, I had to do some stuff manually. There you go. Okay. You still haven't told the wheel where your TPMS is, the machine where your TPMS is yet.
Okay. So I should have done that first.
If you were starting from scratch, you could have, but being we've already done the same wheel once already,
Okay.
you can rotate your valve stem in front of this and then tell it where it's at.
Okay, so I can rotate it manually.
Yep. So get your valve stem over where the roller is.
Went the wrong way.
A little more. That's good.
Okay.
Okay. Now saying you set it the same as last, so just step on the go pedal one time and let off. Okay, now it knows where the
Okay.
wheel's at.
Now I'm going to mount both beads.
Mount both beads.
I hit the wrong
And then
one.
you can either push continue or just step on the go pedal.
I hit the wrong button, didn't I? Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
You're ready. Just push
All
on
right.
the go pedal.
Okay. I want it to angle that way, right?
Yep. Now see, it's beeping at you saying, look at me. So we're going to say, okay, you let off. You can angle your tire over like you want to.
Okay.
So you got it there.
Like this. So that just enough room to get that in there.
Yep.
I go.
And this is the point where you're going to push here and go on around.
Yep.
Down like this. Oops, hold on. Let's start over again. Back up. So what we're going to do is retry, okay? That way it repositions our valve stem and everything.
Okay.
What you're going to want to do is get a little bit more angle on it. So it's
Gotcha.
trying to get everything inside the thing. So I'm going to push retry. All right?
Okay. So I'm like
pedal.
right here and then following it around.
Right. Oh, hold up, hold up.
Go back to bottom bead.
Okay, now step on it. Okay, go ahead and get a little more angle on it, kind of like this. There you go. That's how you want to set it right there.
Okay, got
now
it.
go ahead and. All right. There you go, just like that.
Got it. Okay.
What it did was it had to reset where the valve stem was at, okay? Because
Okay.
we had moved it so many times. So it moved that little bit and then it stopped, and you had to let off to let it realize you got to that step. Get yourself positioned where you want it.
Okay. So
Okay,
Now
now go ahead
it's-
and continue. We just stopped for no reason.
okay. Now it's ready for the top bead.
So we're gonna go to top bead mount since we got it now.
Okay.
Now position our pushers because that's what it's asking for. All right, now go pedal.
This is the hardest part. Because you have to keep
Yeah.
Keep going.
Now you're real close to your red dot already, so I probably wouldn't even mess with it. We'll probably remove it anyway.
Got it. See, those are the little tips that'll help me in the future.
Okay.
And I push these out of the way.
Push it out of the way.
What is the computer? What's the machine telling you, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I
When
would.
it says unclamp, that doesn't mean you want to unclamp yet.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's saying the
you know
next
you want to
move.
inflate the tire, right?
So we want to peel our tape off so we can inflate our tire.
And
I'll
just
change this over.
switch me. Yeah, I like this idea of even if it's not doing anything, I love the idea of taping. Until I end up with tape under there and it causes an issue with my bead seating. But we'll add that to our procedure, double checking our tape. Okay, now I'm going to inflate it.
So I pull your core out. So we never pulled it out. And rotate the valve stem back to you. Good.
Thing just blew up. The machine just blew up. What's going on?
Oh, you just accidentally pushed the power button. Don't scare me like that. Go ahead and try to use your blaster hose.
Okay.
Grab your blaster hose right here on the side.
Okay.
Okay. Now what you're gonna do is have your air blowing. Yep. And what you gotta do on this is get out of the way. You can do in some of these cases. You get a little more lube on it.
Remember, I mean, that first tire jumped on there pretty darn easy. It's needs to be a little interesting from time to time trying to get them to jump on.
How do I know when it's... Ah, okay, I see. I'm glad that didn't work, because then we got to see how it went. I didn't know what to do with that.
Now my big rule of thumb is always wait until it's totally done doing your inflation, you got your valve stem back in before I unclamp it.
Yeah.
That way it's not jumping around when you're seating beads and all that stuff. It's just safety too. Well, there's your tire. You got one.
Yeah, get out of here. I'll let you steal it from me. Like, go ahead, Todd, this is great. And when you stop answering your phone, I'm on my own. I'm screwed.
Oh, it's him again.
Click. Okay.
Get your core ready to put back in.
Oh, yeah. How much air to lose? I like to be very accurate, Todd.
I hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna unclamp. Good. Let that do it. Let's take it off. This guy here. Down with it.
He was just asking,
Should we massage it now?
Like on the Teslas, where basically all 4 of them had excessive road force, I would have been, as soon as you
Oh, yes.
mounted
Did we
the
switch it?
second one,
Oh, yeah.
I would
Sorry.
have then been doing the beating side. Well, and hopefully you can already see it was just a couple little minor things.
Yeah.
A little higher.
Not that high.
It's easier to be too high because it's an
Yeah.
airbag, so you can push down on it. Yep, there you go.
What I've been doing is just kind of getting this thing seated and then. Take this guy. And then just put the thing down.
Yep.
Should I do? Let's fix
It's
this.
going to yell at you because it's going to want it done.
This thing's right in the way.
Our 2 babies are agreeing now.
Now we can go. Come on. No force matching. Just get it. Oh yeah, I don't have to walk away from this one. Okay.
That one definitely wants it.
Yes.
It's telling me it's not going to gain anything. Isn't that what it's telling me? Current and the prediction. So now what do?
We're still going to line it up to that prediction, but then we're going to do a bead massage when we do it.
Okay, so it's having me do a quarter turn. So what would you do if you were in this place? So do we
And for your personal stuff, I would do it. I mean,
Yeah.
just to try it.
we got our spot. That's on the wheel. Let me servo it. We got our tire spot. I guess I gotta watch this too when I'm loading it. Come on. But this would be why if you went to a shop and they charge you $300 to do your tires, because if they're doing something precise like this and they're gonna really do the road force matching, it's gonna take them, a couple hours to do, maybe an hour to do if they're really good, moving really fast to do a set of wheels and tires like this.
You're rolling up at that point now. You're rolling
Okay,
up.
so I'm just gonna go. Now you said stop when that comes
Wait until
down.
it finishes breaking. It's gonna hang out there for a minute.
Okay.
Once that top bead breaks, then you can stop and do it again. Just does the bottom one first. Now you can stop and go ahead and
Now I use this.
take your tool head up out of the way. The tool head lever, the one to the left.
This one.
Yep,
Oh,
get it
mount
out of
it.
the way.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can
Now I'm
go ahead
gonna
and move it up real good.
rotate it on my own.
Yep.
Okay.
Your
Your bottom.
too. Yep.
Okay.
Now you want to manually take your roller out here somewhere. Kind of
Down there.
like come up a little bit and come back down like right here.
Right there. On the TPMS.
TPMS sensor.
Okay, so
Now
now,
you should spin the wheel backwards and get it to come to right here.
you could help it too, couldn't you? I was helping it.
You let the rollers do that.
Yeah, go ahead and pinch your top one a little tighter. There you go. There, it's going.
Okay.
Now let's get them all out of the way.
Now I'm ready to.
Go ahead and, yeah, there you go. We're ready to put air back in it now.
Okay. I'm gonna get it situated. Around.
Well, we might get lucky and air's right back up. We'll see.
Moving. There we go. That's how you know it's gonna do it.
So we stretched it the first time.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna do a bead massage.
Right. Once we get our air pressure set.
But the bead massage is all automatic.
Right. Once you scroll to it, there's your bead massage right there. Click on it. All right. And when we get ready to do it, all you're gonna do is step on the go pedal.
Got it. Once
Once
it's
we get
on there,
this
enough.
disconnected.
Supposed to stay away from the tire. Make all the mistakes, Bryce. Do it now so I don't have to.
You can watch this video back later.
Yep. Just watch it 10 times. I actually think we've covered pretty much every possibility on this, haven't we? We can do let's do the Bostons. Okay, so now I'm gonna bead massage.
Hold on.
Take this
Take it
off.
off for it. You
I
gotta
gotta put my
put
core
the
back in. Now we got a really quality mount there. We got bead really seated. That's awesome. And so now I'm gonna unclamp it. Oh, well, they'll check the air pressure over there.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to him, I was talking in the video about I'm gonna rent a shop, like another building like this size. I'm gonna get a Hunter, lift and alignment rack, and then I'm gonna have these, and I'm gonna charge people, $600-700 to do a set of wheels, but we'll coat them and take all the nibs off and all that stuff. People are losing their crap. Well, if you see how much goes into this, it's not as. To do it right is a big process. And I would argue most places probably don't even know how to do it right because they don't have the right stuff. Like even having this thing, I mean, what would you say the percentage of shops that have one of these? Or if they have them, do they use them?
Well,
Yeah.
they've had stress.
Okay, so I'm gonna check the tire pressure because we were messing with the core.
Funny how it always ends up right by the swing nut.
So this is where, since I have this open, do I do a verification spin?
You want to go back and balance? Okay.
Lift and then.
You could just push start too.
Okay. Come on, give me some green. Nice.
924.
So now I put my weights on. This is the first one. Because there's so many of them, it's easier for it to tell you exactly what to do than to.
It's just hard to hit that spot for some reason.
Our cameraman over here had it right the first time. He was saying, shouldn't we be doing the
Come on.
bead massage?
I'm like in front of the screen and I see it. I'm like,
I just go a little bit below it, I guess.
Yeah.
So I need 1/2 inchers. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/4. So this is on the outside.
Remember,
So I
when you
wanna
put your
go-
first 4 on, just shift them.
Give it a little bit of room,
Give
yep.
it room for your quarter to go on the other
So I'm
side.
gonna put it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just a little bit on the center. Yep.
All right, let's do some fancy wheels. Now the pressure's on. feel like a baby, like a child. Dad's washing me, holding out, please, catching me. And this is the part where I always forget to put the valve stem cover on. Okay. All right, let's do a fancy one.
So these got the plastic on them. You may want to just leave that
Yeah, it's a good idea.
instead of taping it. Peel it off the bottom, but
Ooh, it might be tough to get out of there though. Once you get the bead on there.
yeah, we'll have to let the roller push down.
Okay, which wheel is this? Is the wide one? Yeah, it's got to be the wide one.
The only thing I'm seeing on the plastic here is it may be a little tough to get it off once we get the tire on there.
Yeah, I'd say we definitely need to take that off.
And now we also got to change our flange plate.
Now these TPMS sensors just screw in. How do we know what spec to tighten these to? Just like, isn't there a tool that like?
They do
for
make
this?
little sockets for that stuff. The tech guy should be able to come up with that stuff for you.
Do we need a socket for it? And then I'll just get I'll figure out what the spec is on these in the future and just. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably good.
All right.
So what it is, went ahead and turned this back into a 5-finger one.
Okay.
We could have left it as a 3, being we're 5 lug.
Okay.
But with the wheels we're dealing with, I'd rather have all 5 of them in contact and not have any wobbling
Got it.
around. So that's why I went with this. I'm gonna have to go with. You have to go with 3 on this one or 4, because the pinhole.
Oh.
So you have to go with 4, because the pinhole. If we were going reverse mount, we'd use all 5. But either way, I would rather have more of them on there than.
Gosh, I love that thing.
So we're gonna do the same thing on this one. Not centered right.
See, making these videos are fun, aren't they?
So we do the same kind of thing. Now we're actually having to reset everything because we're starting with a whole
Yeah.
new setup. So go a little lower. Now on this set of wheels, because it's got that hump right there, I would definitely go a little on the high side. Okay, so I'd be up like that because that hump right there is what I'd be worried about. This, if I was dismounting, I'd be worried about this catching that hump on the way over. Okay.
Then I got a 16th.
So now we're gonna do this. This is our new location. And we're gonna mount both beads. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of my way.
Did I get my sticker off of there? I did.
Get in, out.
Now these will have an in and out, right?
Should. I would assume so. Let's find it. Outside here.
Okay.
So.
I feel like this are a lot easier. You're not dealing with all the weight, I guess.
Well, these are the kind of tires you can actually over lube too, and it makes it real tough to put on.
So again, people, Pilot Sport 4S's, there's no dot. There's no mark. I don't think there's a mark.
Didn't see anything when I looked.
Put it that way.
You watch
then
where
you
I'm-
rotate.
see where I'm going over here?
Yeah, now you rotate. Okay.
This is one of them wheels you're going to want to lube that. See how it goes down there?
Hey, you're asking us about when do you lube the drum?
Yep.
This wheel.
We got a good little case study here today.
Okay. Now another big thing with these kind of tires, you notice we accidentally caught the hook right here, so we got to get it past that, which could be interesting on this.
There it goes.
Come on. Okay, now it's asking me for the pushers.
This is the part that scares me. It just goes so fast. Nice.
I couldn't see what was going on over there, but I could see the smile on your face.
Good colors. Now,
Dang it.
This could be where tape might be an issue with these tires like this.
yeah.
'Cause I see the one side, it's like,
You have to bring the roller down.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which actually what you could do right now is we can bring the roller down and the pushers down
Yeah.
It's coming out.
and let them push on if it gets stuck in there too
Come
much.
all the way out. It's sliding all the way out.
This is actually where you might want quality tape, Matt. They'll pull one piece the whole way.
This is quality tape, Brycey. Look at that.
got it.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you got the bottom there already?
We're finally getting used to getting rid of all that quality tape.
Oh, you said the precision poly, yeah, the purple stuff.
Comes off one piece.
Yeah, but it sometimes rips paint off.
And the protection that we have on there, I mean, we're using the polymer mount demount heads, so we really shouldn't scratch. It's just
You want to
Yeah.
make sure it's clean before you start every
Super
time.
high dollar rims, you take a few minutes there to put the tape on, and then you have no fear.
Well, now that it makes more sense that I had the thing coming up the bottom, it just is not. I thought the arm hit it, so I was watching the arm up top there the whole time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that ever damaged anything.
What do you want in these?
These need to be 42.
By the way, you just heard how that popped?
Yeah.
That's not enough. You definitely want to bead massage this, this assembly because of that.
I can hear some air leaking somewhere. Dang, these are pretty darn stretched. I just don't like that look.
You sized them up, didn't you, right?
Yeah.
Wider.
Yep. I did 275s before, I think. See, like these, I'd be inclined to just pick up off of here. You know, I'd be inclined to just do this. I feel like there's less risk doing that. We got to figure out what our clamp size is.
We got to turn this back into a 5 load too. This has to be turned into a 5. Well, no, I can say a 3, can it? On these. I'll make it a 5.
8A.
Do it right.
No, because we'd have to
Yeah.
So what do you think? Where am I going?
That's, definitely
My airlines.
That's too big.
So I don't want it on the lip. I want it to go in.
You want
there.
inside like that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I got this, Bryce. I got this. Bead massage, the force mat. I got it. Yeah, I got it. Now I just have to practice. I tried running in Tesla. I tried running it at 34, but then it was real squishy. The thing's so heavy. Come on, hook me up. One and done.
Not a bad start.
You got it. Got your one and done.
What does that mean?
It says something about force matching. What did it give us that? Oh. So there's 3 harmonics. Whenever you're doing a tire balance, it can drop any one of the 3 harmonics and cause a problem. This is showing 1 harmonic being a little high, but if you also looked at what the prediction is only changing it by pound to 13.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, you're pretty much done. There's no reason to do anything to it. You're still in the green, you're still good.
Yeah. Saying the tire alone is 28, but the combination of the way we set it up is 14, so we're good to go. So all we have to do is put our weights on and
Yep.
Yeah.
got a massaged bead. Nice. Yeah, we only need to do this one. I'm done. I'm checked out.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you do one tire, you do another. I mean, they're all.
It's all the same.
It's going to be the same.
It all came together. It all makes perfect sense now. All of the bead massaging, force matching. I was so overcomplicating it in my head. Nice.
So we're good. I forgot to cancel out of the force match again. You can turn that off so you don't have to do that all over again. I just forgot to push the button. So it's going to give you the same warning.
Yeah,
We
it's
know we're
also
still.
doing it, yeah. Nice.
So when that popped up last time, I could have just turned that off. So it would just balance only.
Yeah.
Normally, that's what it'll do. I mean, we were pushing all the buttons and moving around, but
Yeah.
normally.
Because we went into that third harmonic screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's saying, oh, you're looking a little tighter. Let's make sure we're right. So.
But yeah, it's assuming that you're taking it over there to do something.
All right.
There's no reason to do that.
Yeah.
15 pounds and it gets it to 14. Not going to help.
That's a wrap. I'm going to spend, I'll be playing here this weekend, playing with the other 5 tires that I got to do. But I feel pretty good. I actually, the dismounting part, the demounting part wasn't that bad. Like, I felt like I had that one okay.
Yeah.
Especially with I was doing those really tight sidewalls in the Tesla.
I think the biggest thing is getting your angle right when you come here.
Yep.
Come with it here. You just got to remember you're kind of shoving it on that way.
Yeah.
You got to get a pretty good angle on most of them. These are a little different.
And then the biggest thing I wasn't doing was you lift on the one end when you're breaking the bottom bead, and then once it does and it takes off, that's the part I wasn't doing. Once I figured that out, it was simple.
These are going to be a little different. Putting that bottom on, you're just going to have to watch where you shove it on because that barrel's right there. It's real shallow.
Yeah. All right, so that's a wrap. So I'm going to do one more tire off camera, and we'll be sharing. I plan to share my learning process with this. So every time I get a set of wheels and tires, we'll do vlog style, or I just set the camera up and talk about what I've learned, and then hopefully a few years into this, I'll have it down and really be figured out some things that maybe some professionals haven't figured out. In that, if you've done it your whole life or you've done it a long time, it's second nature. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.